start stream on everything, because it should just be stream o'clock. That happens every so often. Stream o'clock does happen. It's a beautiful thing. Well, welcome back, everyone. We're back to Vampyr. I'm going to have a really fun time, hopefully digesting. Chapter 1 seemed a little bit buggy, in my personal opinion. A little bit chunky for as far as its athletic run, but I feel like it was maturing as the chapter went on, and the bugs started to become less and less difficult. So, super excited to be here to see what ends up happening. So, let us continue with Vampyr. Oh, I was about to say, please tell me you saved. I was about to say, oh no. Oh no. It like should have just been like right at the intro. Unless it had some weird save system that didn't work, or it's like a Bethesda game where you have to save every bloody second. Yeah. It's Bethesda games for you. Though those do come in handy when you play those style of games, because when you're playing a boss battle, you could get far doing that. Pretty cool world when you look at it like that. Save, hit. I did that as a youngin' back in the day, but I beat stuff on the most hardest of difficulties before there was even patches. They would just release a game and they'd be like, "Ha, here you go. This is what you get." You never got to complain and say like, "Hey, I don't think this works." They're just like, well, shit. Good luck with that. You just gotta beat it. That's called hard." that was yesterday's hard. I was like, you just gotta do it. Feel my ammo. No, we're definitely like, I guess in chapter 1-ish. Like it said episode 2, chapter 1, maybe? Where was the 2? Doctor's mode. Message. Dear Jonathan. Well, fine, I'll read the letter later. You were very impatient, you know. In fact, actually, I should probably put out, candle safety. Oh. Apparently the candles put themselves out, but there is something blinking over here. I'm not gonna not entertain that. I'll get to her. I'll just see what the doctor says. Coming. Hey, what's going down? Heck. Oh. How's it been, man? What's new in your life? I am gonna go ahead and finally open this door.
I'm not one to make wait, Doctor. I've patients to attend.
Oh, okay. Well, then tend to it. Shall we? Are you like, okay, you're waiting for me.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
What is it, Mrs.
A crisis, you say?
She seems very concerned about her work. She's passionate. She just has a very abrupt way of like going about things. I love the dialogue pick, and there's not a time thing where it's like, oh crap, you need to hurry the hell up. I love games like that. For right now, I said there's nothing here. This room is off limits. No anesthetics at all. Yeah, I think that's the more concerning thing.
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
Okay, I didn't want to go like aggro.
You've been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France during the war.
Whoa, no, that's right. During 1918, that was one of the burden points of the war, was the famine because of the medicine and the circulation. Unfortunately, we look at today's standards, it's not as bad compared to 1918 when Spanish flu was at large and the tail end of the portion when it very well emerged during the 1910s and wrecked the first decade going into the second decade of what ends up happening. It just trickled around and just kind of stayed around there for 3 years,
Perhaps
4 years.
There first.
So it got out like, I think it was like right around 100 years ago, give or
It's the
take.
large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's
Crazy
been sealed
stuff.
off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital.
Okay, so we're going to a morgue.
On my way
This spells interesting. If we can find a skull that talks, I'll be even more interested. I'm gonna name it Murray, but I'll be interested.
I cannot enter.
You can enter, you're just choosing not to. Swift kick fixes everything. Well now, I don't know when that's gonna come in handy, but it might. Oh, right on, man. Congratulations. I definitely endorse the whole thing going for PC. Everyone that says they go PC, they never come back. It's like playing on like a battlefront or battle field in that general standpoint, where it's just built on a different engine, where you're like, okay, that's kind of cool, you know, different like architecture. So PC gaming is really cool. Now streaming, it can be daunting, but don't let it like overwhelm you. You know, it's very easy. If an easy common Joe like myself can do it, anyone can. Like honestly, there's so many great YouTube videos. Though I've been wanting to learn to make like basic tutorials, like on like random shit. Like I'm pretty sure yourself with trying to find the stream key is like probably one of the most wrecked things in the world. Where you're just like, seems like it's like a dangling carrot where you can't find it. At least for Twitch. YouTube is super freaking easy. Same thing with like Facebook. They just like draw it out. They're just like, yeah, okay, if this is compromised and somehow you window capture this, you can reset it. If you're that like noobish. Yeah, the overlays is probably one of the funner things, and then you can kind of get into, if you get into Streamlabs, you can have that mixed. Personally, myself, I like having it added in, like where my Facebook, it's way more interactive. Though sometimes I do find it to be broken. Sometimes the interaction between it kind of lame. So that's probably why they recommend Streamlabs with the over portion, just the overlays. But there's more paid stuff. Where's this more?
I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
It didn't sound human. I'm just gonna put that out there. Let me break into the place that I'm trying to get out of. Alright, hey, you know what? You wanna come at me like this? Okay, I'm getting the dodge. He's kind of interesting to... Not receiving a smooth enough maintenance. What are you talking about? Stop being silly. I know how to reboot this. And I'm just gonna get rid of that program. Right now. Off VPN. Anyways, yeah, they've done like a really good job though, honestly, for as far as the last few updates. Oh, hold on, excuse me real fast. Hey, get off me. Wait, did I just gain health from that? I'm confused. How the hell did I get more health at the end of that? I guess he was less of a vampire. My boat, it was like, nope, sorry, that's rejected. Somehow he gains some super awesome buff. You know, if there was going to be a hidden typewriter around here, this would be the place to hide it. Oh well, I guess no hidden typewriter or a door that opens. Though he can draw his blade quite fast. It's endearing safety right there. Look at him. Ready. One thing is, though, I do want to take a look at is video. Brightness setting, yes. I feel like 7 will probably get the best optimal range. That way everyone can kind of see everything. Oh yeah. Dude, for the streaming software, holy crap, that like worked my filter over. She looks so beautiful. Oh shit, look at them. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna take a chance not to do this. I can get another heart? No, they denied me another heart. How dare they? Oh, how is that? And how's Outlaw, by the way? Like, been looking at that because that's the free one. Because I wanted to try Vampyr. The story, from what I've been hearing, has been really good. I've gotten more of the mechanics down, and besides the beginning that was a little bit rocky, this seems like it has a little bit of a better fluidity to it. I'm digging this gameplay. Look at that, just dumps. I mean, this could be the dump, but I mean, I don't think that that's the case. No one's gonna put shotgun shells. Alright, let's go to this morgue. Where people dump shit at. The dumpy morgue. The Dumparunos. Kind of spime. Eh. I guess it's the one place no one wants to be, so they're just like, yeah, we'll just put it here. The old morgue. Okay, what do we got over here? This little mystery cabinet. Got medicine. A glass vial. I'm not quite sure what my character can do with that. Nice, man. That's good to hear. You guys are definitely fun people to chat with. To be fair, like, almost all my community is really fun to chat with. I don't think I've met one, unless it was someone that was just really salty and they really weren't part of the community. And they were just watching a video or something. Yeah. Sometimes people are just people, so I just let it be myself. The way I look at it is there is only one way to be you and about 7.8 billion ways to not. Is it above us? I kind of feel like it's above us. I'm not leaving this morgue. We mess some stuff up. Like, seriously, there's gotta be monsters around here. I don't... Well, I suppose there would be two entrances to a morgue. Especially after witnessing the very back of the actual morgue and it being crappy. Nice, dude. That's what's up. Honestly, like, it's like doing stuff like that in the presentation and just organizing it, having like strong SEO hashtags, and just kind of vibing and just being you. You know, it's like, I guess like a lot of streamers will say like that are kind of like well reputable up there, that they tried, you know, almost decades sometimes, like trying to get what it is, and then all of a sudden they just hit this kind of stride and they just keep running with it. So, you know, anything's possible. You know, and I definitely tell everyone that they need to explore themselves with, like, YouTube's a rare opportunity, and among other social media points where it's like if you're really good at something and you want to help others or just, you know, have fun and, you know, kick it with others, especially with like staycation nowadays, you know, that's an interesting thing, you know what I mean? Hey, hold on, let me get a lock on you, punk.
is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be
Yeah.
the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Oh, cool, man. And Need for Speed, I thought was like a very interesting series during like the PlayStation like 2 days, and I was really into it. And then I lost track on like 3 and like 4. I never even really got into it. Same thing with Gran Turismo, sadly enough. Just because mainly with Gran Turismo, they're so weird without having a like with today's standard of streaming. Like, would you please just have a streamers like setup of like soundtracks? Like almost 90% of the games nowadays have finally either you get it in part of the game, or you have a button to switch it to make it a stream friendly like audio. And like I love that, but sometimes every so often you get that, you know, dick company that's just like Disney, no offense, I'm sorry,
cannot enter.
sure the mouse will be like, oh fuck you, and I'll be like, no, fuck you, mouse. Because seriously, you do anything Kingdom Hearts or anything like that, they get pissed. Oh my gosh, dear gosh, is it like freaking all of a sudden like damn near a copyright strike? They're like, oh well, it's not something super crazy, but we just want to let you know you can't make any profit off of that, but we can air people and put commercials in your shit. And I'm like, this sounds like some mumbo jumbo bullshit where I'm getting screwed out for my own talent.
To the basement.
You know, so those ones I usually turn off monetization to double fuck them. I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm cool. I'm just gonna make it free without commercials. I'll take the hit on that one for my community. Oh yeah, hold on, excuse me real fast. I have definitely gotten donations, Echo. I usually am against them though. And I know that's strange for a person that's trying to make a living, or at least most people would, hey, get back with that crap. The point of trying to be a creator, and I kind of just do it because A, I love it, it's just my nerdy niche life, and like A, my business outside of it allows me to do it. Once you start to stream and get like a pretty decent like net flow of views, you will understand that, well, there really isn't a need to get people to donate to you when you can take it from like the ad advertisement, which is basically billionaires sitting around in 1% trying to make you buy something, and you get to watch an ad for a creator and you get to pay them. So that's kind of a genius idea. I kind of look at it almost like a, you know, a Robin Hood situation where you're taking from the rich and giving back to the poor, and if there's entertainment into that, especially when you're supplying stuff
It's
like
locked, all right.
like for instance like a computer fix or something like that for most people, and that's simple to like kind of put out there. There's gonna be better items around here. Definitely messed this group up. So I mean, the way I look at it is there's multiple other ways too. Like, say for instance someone's like, oh, I want to donate like 20 bucks, and I'm like, well, you can just use an Amazon affiliate link and just buy something through my site. Any link you click on my Amazon, you buy for yourself, which is great. And I like that theory that you're buying for yourself, you know, buy the next video game you want or something like that. And then we work the system, where it's just you're working it against the corporations rather than working it against the 99%, if that makes sense. Not to go all Occupy or some crazy, like, you know, let's like freaking live on an island in the middle of the ocean, which would be cool. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie, I'd actually be one of those people that'd be like, I'll contemplate it, just like Mars. But that's kind of my theory with it. I just kind of like people to do themselves, or they can watch my videos or tell other people word of mouth. And I'm getting pretty decently like amount of exposure nowadays, where the foot traffic is pretty high, like versus like, well, stats. It's cool. I want to do like eventually, if it becomes pretty popular, I want to do what Gaming Nexus did and make like if I like hit 1 million subscribers eventually, I would love to do a graph of those, like the subscribers, kind of like up and down, not with everyone listed, but just a graph on YouTube with just like basically from start to finish, like at that point. Because like Gamer Nexus had a really genius idea with that. I mean, I'm not trying to steal it, but I would love to live that legend on. Do something similar like that, which is just like kind of, I guess, paying an homage to his idea. So, oh shit. Where the hell are we going with this? Like, am I gonna like bust into a door like the fucking Kool-Aid Man and be like, oh yeah, I'm a vampire? I feel like that's gonna be something. Well, I feel like what you should do is you should always have like
It's locked.
do YouTube and treat it like you're gonna do nothing else, because you know that's the whole point. Follow your passion, light that fire, and you know continue to do what you love. But in the end of the day, you know you got to balance out like a little bit of what ends up happening, or as far as the way you get like you know dollar bills. So it just takes into niches. Mine's like passion of dear gosh, this is just ridiculous. Okay, I have vision. I totally forgot I have vision. So you can see blood and shit. Alright, use his, you know, canine vampire nose to get ourselves out of it. But yeah, just go hard, man, and like see where it goes and takes you, and you know, learn along the way, ask questions, go to conventions when they become a thing again. Well, what the hell was that? That was like a whisper of death. Can I just burst through the door? Come on. I feel like that isn't a difficult request. I'm a vampire. Remember? I don't think the game remembers. I feel like there's also edges with not just keeping yourself directly situated on one network. Branch out, get a whole bunch of community, and then funnel where you can find the most revenue. Because eventually, if you get enough foot traffic, businesses approach you, and they're just like, hey, would you like to try out this product? This seems like, oh, you piece of crap, I see you. He went down there. Whoa. I don't think that was unlocked last time. Mind blown. Okay, so this game's like Silent Hill. You have to like run around and do shit and then randomly. No wonder people were so happy with this game, because it has a lot of elemental shifts inside of it. Like the whole combat system's very like almost Bloodborne-ish.
And the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
The level design I feel like is really great because it's like simple. Not simple in a bad way, but just like it has a great atmosphere. It's like an asylum, nothing big. It's very bright. Whoa, the camera angle's glitched. Whoa, dude, this brosive is pretty beast. He was really ridiculously like agile. I'm like really like surprised, to be honest. I think that was a bug in the AI, but that's just gonna be my roll of the die. Last month I went from 50 to like 63, and I always have haters saying I can do better. But it can take years to even get not necessarily. I feel like what a lot of people limit themselves, and like I mean again, like I've met a lot of creators that have said that they've taken decades, and I went from like a few years of putting like a little effort into this, and like now I'm putting more and more effort into this, and it's yielding out. So I feel like you just need to find what you can, you know, if you're doing what you're like trying to get like more attention, what you can help people with. And I mean, that's usually what YouTube is. It's just like a network of like what's going on. If it'd be like finding a way to kill spider mites off. Damn, this dude, seriously, you were like buff nasty. Like, what the hell? You're like buffed up on like creatine or some shit, bro? You need to calm that shit down. You are not like allowed to be on this level right now. Like, you need to calm that shit out. Dude, seriously? Why don't I have my like crazy claw ability? the R1 has not been usable the whole time. I noticed that last time. Shit, hold on real fast. I saw a new chat bubble pop. Give me 1 second. Dear gosh, dude, this guy's crazy. We somehow survived. I'll take that. This is a W, but I feel like that was an L. I hope Microsoft got the Bethesda, put most pressure on Sony. They don't need to do something in response to exclusive titles to PC now. Well, to be honest, I feel like that's kind of like a really interesting perspective. And honestly, the reason why I bring that up is because Bethesda has definitely been bought by Sony. Not Sony, sorry. Ubisoft is being purchased by Sony. Bethesda got bought out by Microsoft. That's a done deal. They paid $40 billion just like Nvidia did for ARM. But that's a long story in general. But what I'm getting at is, I guess the pressure on Sony really put the pressure on Microsoft because they had to buy that in order to keep afloat, because the ecosystem that they try to rely on is going to be something that's going to be like, oh, we're going to survive for 2 years and then we're going to start doing Halos, then we're going to start doing Dead Rising, stuff that they're like really good at for as far as like having exclusives, but they're going to have nothing really different except for right now what they have is their HDR is really superb. They do have best billion for billion point for as far as what they can offer. Yeah, that's right, punk. Didn't think I would do that. So I think the exclusive war, if you really want to say day one, Sony won. Just because Microsoft scrambled and really Sony put the pressure on Microsoft to make moves just like that in order to actually purchase those things. That's a great perspective, don't get me wrong. And like if you can kind of look at the way that they finally brought in the market to PC games, like, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn and other games. Dude, this guy needs to be put down like a freaking rabid dog, seriously. God damn, finally. So looking forward to seeing like what Microsoft can kind of bring to the table more, because they, as it is day one, they don't really have anything. And yeah, they did snag the new Elder Scroll, and that is kind of like a system buyer, I guess you can look at it that way. But they need to offer more in order to have that broadband. But they do have a really good gaming pass. Like, I feel like that's one of the cooler things that they kind of got going for them. And they're definitely building a system that seems like it's not going to be a red ring of death for once they actually care about what's happening. So it's a good console war for once. I feel like this is like the best technology that we're getting. Kind of feels like PlayStation 3 days for Sony, where they're over-developing a system in price and giving it to people. In fact, actually, the system in general, like the PlayStation and both the Xbox, both companies are taking $100 directly a hit into the manufacturer, if not almost 150 if you factor in like shipping costs and other things from shipping these things to us. So we're getting pretty much cheaper technology than a majority of people would want to gamble with trying to get a 3090 on eBay. Dear gosh, those poor souls. Not gonna happen. But I'm more curious too. One of the bigger names that they were putting on the chopping block for what was going to be bought by Microsoft next was Sega. But that was something that was talked about during the last recession when Sega kind of tanked, and what they basically argued about was the Dreamcast. That was one of the bigger things that they were just like, oh yeah, we want to go with you guys, but you know, if you go with us, we need a system, we want to, you know, do Dreamcast. And they were like, no, we're fine. So that's why Sega backed out and ended up being their own like little console. Less, but games, yes. So it was an interesting few years, but now they're back on the block of saying, hey, but I don't know if that's going to work again, because, you know, again, there is talk of like the Dreamcast coming back again. Like, I was like, wait, what the hell? Seriously? Ooh, damn. So level 5 to 6, they are crazy. Ridiculously hard. Coast is still clear. Good to know. All right. I presume that's probably where we're gonna end up heading. John Doe. John Doe, you know. Is it his shadow? Who can play at that John Doe? We just gave him right breath fast. Oh, what the? I feel like that was ridiculous. He like stabbed me somehow through a blocked point. I thought he threw a machete at me for a second. I was like, wait, where the fuck did the machete come from? I hope it has a good save system. That's gonna be bollocks if I had to go back from the very beginning of that down to that point, because that's like almost Dark Souls-esque. It's brutal and has this very crude save system. Please don't be that. Don't be that dick. Hear that dick. Hear that dick. Alright. No, I'm getting better at killing. Okay, you didn't have to be like that, camera angle. Kind of my first complaint is like the auto lock-on's kind of bullshit. Okay, maybe except for that point when they jump on you and it bugs out. Yeah, I don't really like that. That's like really stupid that they haven't fixed that. This is 1.07. You think they would fix like a lurgy jump bug where you can't actually even see the actual enemy attack the hero or heroine? Like, kind of lame. Game's been out for more than a year, right? Also, why can't I level up? Can I do hard saves? Because I feel like that would change the game right there if I could do hard saves. I mean, it's just ridiculously kills. Oh yeah, you get the PlayStation collection, so you get like Days Gone and all these other really cool things for starting out. That's pretty good. Like, again, that's why I was just like, holy crap. But again, like, Xbox has a really good thing where they're kind of rolling almost a similar situation where they're giving out some stuff, and then, you know, you got the Wii refresh, or this was Switch refresh, which seemed pretty cool. That gets there.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Foul play, he thinks. Wonder. Damn, he just pwned the shit out of his ass. Oh, honestly, the best feedback I could say is be yourself and just be not influential, but just be like a global motivator, you know, things people want to be around. And, you know, some of the most kindling comments that I've ever got were like, you know, where people pop in and be like, hey man, I really appreciate when you were playing like Red Dead because, you know, I was going through a tough time and that really meant a lot to me at that point in time in my life. And that's really cool because you make those connections with those people that come back every so often. They're just like, oh, hey, what's going down? So it's like, you know, I feel like shout outs are kind of like a thing of yesterday. And yeah, it can work for like people like, you know, like Linus and like that have like millions of subscribers. But the percentage of people that actually funnel through are very, I guess, slim because you have to understand you're filtering yourself. So eventually you just end up with this filter of people that are pretty much almost identical to the thinking process of what you're going with because they really vibe with who you are. So it's just like kind of the whole thing, if you build it, they'll come syndrome. So do that. But like one of the bigger things that I got like told were a few things that were like kind of like, I guess, helpful hips of just like tightening the body portion of the YouTube, because you know it's like you have like SEOs, hashtags, descriptions, which are more important to keep it running. But the simple point of telling someone at the end of the episode of like, if you're new to the network, you can always subscribe, and saying something funny that's like personal, you know, like what is it, I think Jay Leno at the very end of his streams he'll say something ridiculous as in like you know, if you subscribe to me today, you know, I'll eat a cookie. You know, it's just like something ridiculous. And I know like a lot of like the tech reviews that I do, hold on fast, I'll do that where I'll just like, you know, who knows, it's kind of like the line I'll usually think, and I'll just think of something super random. Sometimes it's, you know, good. Oh, holy crap, that was pretty great. No, take that, John Doe, you hoe. Oh, dude, what the frizz? The ghost, this alien just like shanks you. He didn't do that in the first one. Like, I'm going back with Vendetta. Like, it's going down. Like, I'm not. You've been defeated. That's very easy to see. I feel like you don't need to put that. That should just be like, we're loading another scene because we've crushed your soul. I'm just gonna put that out there. Yes and no. I guess it depends on what portion of the country you're in, because you know, like maybe my, I guess, middle class kind of like my intellect might be different than someone else's in the way that they kind of view how expensive things can be. But I think you're just taking like the common essentials that you usually have. I'm out of here with that crap. And then just, you know, amplifying more use out of them. Like, we all have internet, we all have power, we all have computers, and you're just maximizing the spread on those. So I wouldn't think too much into it. And like, I don't really have any ambitions to become super rich in this situation or like super famous. I just want to be, you know, myself and help people. Super good at that. It's kind of like the goal I always wanted to do, is just, you know, somehow be around the world and help people, and somehow I found the best job to do that and be myself. So YouTube's given me a great opportunity, which was even awesomer back in the day when I was like doing like, you know, conventions, and now it's a no-ventions. Oh, cool, man. Finally, my claw's working. I don't know what triggers it though. The ability to this game to show me the mechanics and how they function are still a mystery of the night. At least, I mean, I'll hand it to the game. It's not a douche where you need to recollect items. Like, those games are just like I'm like, serious? You can't have like a semi-auto save for that shit.
It's locked.
See? It's the only thing we haven't unlocked. It was sweet. Hey, buddy. Oh, for streaming, yeah, you can do it on a laptop. I've done it before, and you're red lighting the laptop, and you have to have a decent, like, you know, at least an i7 or a really good AMD processor of today's gen in a laptop in order to run those things, because the APU is really what's going to be driving that. I recommend doing PC because interchangeable parts, it's cheaper. But if you had to, you could get like a dongle, like those connectors. I think EVGA has some that are pretty good for a decent price. Excuse me, I have a date with Fate right now. Come here, you little bitch. Your ass is mine. Bro. Okay. I just somehow was dodging him the whole time. Okay, just walk it off, walk it off, walk it off, walk it off. Get that stam. Okay. Alright, it's alright. Come on, Shadow, I know you're gonna appear. What's up? Come on. Come at me, bro. Right? What you got? I feel like that was a very dickish move. Like, the AI gets so much more dickish every time. Yeah. I don't feel like that's a very well balanced thing, because I have the dodge down, but then it shifts up on the API. Yeah, that probably would get you decent, but you would definitely have to have at least bare minimum, like some kind of like streaming hardware on the outside. So it's possible, but definitely low render settings, and that's what you kind of want anyways when you're first starting out, just because it's easier to kind of broadcast and meet more people around the world. I'm gonna try to speed run this real fast. I seriously don't know what unlocks the claw. But I've at least gotten decent at killing these guys. Okay. At least this is straightforward, you know? Get him. Alright, cool. Now I can answer the question. And then, didn't have time. I saw the light of the new DDR. Yeah, that one takes a while, but it makes good, like, honestly, it's good stuff, man. Just tune it to the calculator and you should be totally fine. Yeah, honestly, Echo, like, if you need help building a computer, I could definitely suggest some parts. You know, just let me know what you're looking for in that situation. On like a general standpoint, and like, I guess, if you follow me on Facebook, I think it's M7. That way, like, it's a lot easier for messages. Whoa, what the hell? Oh, okay. I thought the shadow monster got up to level like freaking like 750. I was like, what the f— dude, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, we gotta dodge. Dodge, dodge, dodge. Dodgy, dodge, dodge. Dodge bow. Dummy. One more hit. Dodge, 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 dodge. Got him. Finally. Shadowmon dead.
Skulls can be so ferocious.
I feel like that was a lot more
I'm not
easier.
sure I can defeat them without
But dear
becoming
gosh, that was so
stronger.
good. Woo.
To drink blood
And then
is
nice
so
CPU.
tempting.
That's actually a really good CPU. And 3600 I feel like is a great, like, sweet setting. Damn, 1.6 volts. That's definitely good, but like that's a whole lot of voltage for that. I ran like more obviously with my 3800 kit.
Dangerous,
which is
to
pretty
administer,
good.
but efficient in the proper dosage.
Yeah, definitely, Echo. Let me know. I'll definitely help you out and find some really good stuff. Especially with today's tech market, it can be confusing, but there's a lot of good stuff coming out, man. That's one of the reasons why I like doing tech. As you can see, people popping in because they're watching the Ryzen calculator. So once you get your technology, I even have videos on showing you how to tune it. Let's see here. Ooh. Apparently I can't open that door, but hopefully this door... Analyze... Is it like just recyclables? Like, okay. Is there just a recycle all? Craft recycled. Oh, how interesting. I still don't have enough. I have enough for that. He does not seem like he's doing too hot. I guess that's what a boss would do to you. Oh shit, that sucks. You're definitely pushing the boundaries. Yeah, I have to, like, with my 3800, I've tried everything. Even the DRAM calculator will suggest like a really low voltage, and I just couldn't get it to boot. And I knew for a fact the board booted at 1.5. Major creators had mentioned 1.5. The minute you cross the threshold of 3600, it has to be 1.5. And 36 can run at like 1.35, but there can be instability points where you have to kind of bump it up to kind of get that speed. That is why I say people, you know, do it at your own risk. It's fun, but it definitely does shorten the lifespan of the RAM. But just depends on what you're using and how long you're using it for. Where is this freaking like? Oh, create the fung. I guess I have to go back to that freaking like little. Well, you just gotta think of it this way. There's really three components of it. A CPU, a GPU, and like pretty much just like your motherboard. Those, if you have those three for the most part with the RAM, like you're pretty much built computer with, you know, a few power components, but those are the main three. That's why I mentioned a CPU, GPU, and motherboard. If you dial those in, you can build everything else around it, which is pretty cool. Where's this fungal whatever crap? Graph something. Oh. I think it made the wrong thing. Shit. Treatment. Used for a cure. Guess we gotta find more sodium. Yeah, Samsung is ridiculously good RAM. Holy crap, is that stuff good. I've always had good experiences with it. Actually, yeah, building a PC is ridiculously good now. Oh, excuse me real fast. But yeah, nowadays standards, you can definitely get away with building a pretty decent rig. Some people you can get away with building like something around 600, 700. You can build something the same price as a console and make it better, which is kind of cool. But that also is extremely hunting for good bargains too. So. Oh. Saved. Amy, this guy sounds like he is dying. Did you like eat someone or something? Like, can we like get you to like some health, bro? You do not sound like you're doing too hot. Well, our objective is at the door now. Yeah, that is the portion. I should sneak up and bite someone. Damn it, the opportunity's gone. But Black Friday, and especially like today, like Prime Days, also really good days to kind of snag up technology pretty cheap. Though Amazon can be kind of a punk ass sometimes with buying technology. But they're okay for the most part. I use them, but mainly B&H. I love B&H. They're so damn good. I don't know what's gonna happen when I walk over there because I didn't create what she wanted. Influenza. Crazy thing of yesterday.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both
I guess
arms
really
to feed
what you
my
need to
family,
see
Dr. Reed.
is if like you're building like something like for streaming, you just need to look at what you'll be needing on the top of it. Do you want to do editing videos on top of that? Do you want to you know, just play video games and do light streams here and there? You know, I guess those are the questions you kind of need to ask, is the performance.
Tell me about the
What do you
doctors
need
who
from the
are
machine?
arguing about your
Because
case.
every
Stricter
person's
than that,
tailored
Croy.
difference. You know,
They
and
both
that's what's
want
going to make a difference.
questions,
Just like
but there's a
where
lot
I
of
can find a lot of value in a $2,000
Doctors are no different
processor,
from carpenters,
a lot of
you
people
see.
don't.
What do you
So
mean?
it's just like,
I
it's
often
the
have
difference.
professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very
But like I
capable.
mentioned, if you just
And
drop
your
me a
colleagues
comment of
seem
like
to think
what
so
you're
too.
looking at
In
like
other
that, I could draw
circumstances,
something
you'd
up
be right.
in a few different like,
But for now,
I guess
don't think
ranges.
I can take on the responsibility.
It's super simple. I know technology well enough where I can do something like just give you a whole bunch of links and be like, if you buy all this, you could just put it together. It's super simply. And putting a computer together in general is not that complicated. It just seems complicated.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you
The most
later.
hot part of it is literally just putting your CPU in, and
As
that's
for me,
once you get past the first time, you're just like, it's nothing. It's not like heart surgery or anything.
Yes, Doctor?
How's the situation?
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine,
Okay.
well, we're in
So
God's
video gaming,
hands.
streaming, you'll need a good heart for a CPU and a good GPU in tandem in order to kind of do those, so that way you don't have any kind of like issues. Probably 2 monitors in the situation, which would be nice. Now the question is, what quality do you want to stream in? Do you want to stream in 1080p? Do you want to do 4K? Does it matter? If it doesn't, then there's a lot of cheaper options. If you're just like, I just want to stream and just keep basic, then there's a lot of cool options out there. Where is more? Yeah, I
Please,
want
could
to
you
know
point me in
more.
the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You can't miss it. The key I gave you will open the small back door to it.
Yeah, honestly, I have to agree with him. Like, the 3700 is really good. I was gonna dabble, almost say the 3900 if you really want to spend a few extra bucks for a fast gaming processor. But also, too, I would wait just a tiny bit until the end of this
Why
month,
don't
because
you
AMD is
always
going
work
to
the
be
nights?
kind
you
of
ever
pushing
sleep?
forward with their new processors, which will
Pembroke,
drop
we're
the
always
reduced
hands on
prices on a
deck.
lot of these things, because they're releasing the 5700, 5900, 5950. I forgot there was one other one that they released inside of there, but they're just basically refreshes and a lot faster. So you might want to be like looking at those with a nice, I guess, B-side motherboard that are coupled with that. But I think AMD would be really good. And 1080p, I see what you're looking at. Lack of
sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster.
Now, personally, GPU, there's a lot of good.
Drugs,
good choices. Like the 5700 XT is not that bad,
London's
but
trenches
again,
start here at
Big
Pembroke
Navi
Hospital.
comes out pretty soon, and
We are
that's
on the
going to put a
front line, make
damper
no mistake.
on the 3080 series or 3070 series, because right now
Your
it's the fact
dedication
of
to the Pembroke does you
supply.
credit, Nurse
Who
Crane,
really
but
can
when
give
do
the
you see-
supply and performance right now? And if
We
AMD
staff
can
at
actually
our
give the
sleep when we
market,
can, Doctor.
then
Nursing
they
is
will
a
actually do really
vocation,
good. But
not the
both are
labor
good.
of a
Both are going to
gent.
get like ray tracing like elements, which are pretty cool. But yeah, man, I'd really be interested to give you a hand on that kind of situation, because I know it seems really daunting, but I definitely think that right now AMD is like kind of a way to go for a CPU, and like either AMD or NVIDIA depending on availability and
That's all for
I
now,
guess
Nurse
what
Crane, thank
quality
you.
what you're going to be playing games in, because capturing versus getting the portion of getting, I guess, streaming are completely different. So it's like maybe you want to play in 4K, but you only want to capture and output at 1080p. So your streaming hardware is less, and your processor and GPU is more. Yeah, honestly, that's what I was thinking too. Like a Super Series, like one of the old ones that they have, that's actually pretty cool. But definitely it's a waiting game, just because the next month and a half, like we're gonna see some rocking prices and some cool stuff. So I say definitely work with me in the next month or so, and we'll dial something in around that, like Black Friday deals and some stuff like that. We'll make it happen, Captain.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
AMD's advanced micro devices, which is basically in the game they make processors, they make CPUs and GPUs. That's their jive. And for the while and the longest, Intel was really the only competitor
Good evening.
alongside with
I'm
Nvidia
Dr. Reed.
until AMD showed
Can
up,
I
and they're just
help
like,
at all?
hey, we want to do
Really?
stuff on x86,
Why
which
are
is
you here, then?
pretty much what the modern Marvel technology runs off
I
of.
suppose that
So
this
freaking
clinic is
Nvidia
the
bought
reason you're
ARM,
here.
and then freaking
Is someone
Apple
taking
decided to
care
make their own
of you?
freaking processors in 5 nanometer,
Could you at
which is
least tell
cool,
me
don't
your
get me
names?
wrong, but now Nvidia could be a complete dick and just be like, hey, look, sorry, I know you own that, and we know that that was free to source, but we own it, and it's no longer free to source. Deal with it. They could do that, like, seriously. It'd be really
How
douchious,
painful is your
but
throat, Mr. Goswick?
So
possible.
painful, I'd rather not talk at all.
But I know Echo, sorry, I'm like talking your ears off. I'm pretty sure like freaking Popa is probably like, yeah, actually he brings up a very good
I'll let
point,
you
like
get
because
some
you're very
rest.
technologically driven, like on the SKU counts. And not to say you can't, Echo, you definitely can, Rise. I'm just an average Joe that just happened to pay attention to like 2017
Good
till
evening,
now
madam.
with AMD,
Can I
and
help
like
you?
they've made
son.
night and day differences, and
I'm Dr. Jonathan
I'm
Reed.
really interested to see what they
How
do
can
with
I
the
help you,
Threadripper,
sir?
because they
I'm
joked
Beatrice
around with it.
Goswick,
They were
mother
like
of
teasing it, and I was like, wait, you could just put out
you
like a
take
64
please,
core
Doctor?
with like
I've
2
heard much of
terabytes
your
or some
talents
shit
as
of
a
like
physician.
RAM. It's ridiculous. Dude, seriously. So that's why I'm thinking 3700, 9, and the 3950 are probably going to come to like great deals up in the next months, where just people are just going to be like, oh my gosh, I can make a computer so well. Thank goodness RAM price finally came down. Like, it was a while,
much to
like where it
say.
went back up during the beginning of
Just take care
Staycation
of
in
my
February, where everyone was
cover
building
all the
computers,
expenses.
because
That's all
they had to
that
do
matters.
like, streaming from home to do school and stuff like
really
that. So
rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
my bet right
May I
now on
ask if you
GPU
have
that
an
personally I
occupation,
want to
Mr.
snag,
Goswick?
I
I'm a
want to try to
teacher
get a
by profession.
3090 Founders
I teach
Edition,
young women who are more ambitious
maybe,
about their futures
but
than
mainly a 3080 freaking 20 gig edition. That I feel like is going to be like, it's going to slap the shit out of like a majority of AMD products. In my personal opinion, if they can make it with the diodes correctly, we'll see. But for right now, I feel on pen and paper, it makes sense.
Any complaints?
I
But
have
Big
had the
Navi,
utmost
like I
reservations
think
about this
Navi
hospital since
21,
we arrived.
which is
But
the
we haven't
faster
had a
of the
choice.
bunch that they've shown so
Considering the
far.
state of emergency.
But there's
Is there
also
something in
the
particular
6900,
bothering you?
Some
oh
of
cool, we
the
got
staff
hit,
were not especially
which is going to be
welcoming.
driven to be a little
I
bit
suspect
cooler.
they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
No, I definitely agree. That's why it's like I'm hoping that they'll actually drop the price for it, but it is future proof. That's why like I liked what they were doing. Gaming Nexus did an amazing article about those
Tell me
processors
more
in general.
about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, He just
What
did the
gave you
Jedi
such a
trick
bad
with
first
vampires.
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
She charged you for a bed.
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Yes. Step 101, find the budget. You know what I mean? Because it's like, all these can be definitely great questions and definitely things that you can expand on. But finding your budget and saying like, I can only afford 1,000 or I can only afford 500 or so on and so on. That is going to be the first rubric to seeing what you need to build or what you need to save to get what you want. Damn, I think that's it for us. Okay.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Mrs. Goswin, eventually we'll get everything out of you. Information and all.
Sweet girl.
I guess I just gotta keep looking until I get that antidote. No, it's on the top floor. Look at the arrow. It's pointing up. I need to get on the top. Oh. Oh, I don't think I've met this doctor.
I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed.
And one of the cool things you can do
I'm
too,
convinced it's
Echo,
the
is say for instance, like you can't afford a really good CPU, but you get a motherboard that allows you to do an upgrade later on down the road, and you find a really good deal.
I based my
So
technique
there
on
are
my
stepping
mentor's
stones.
research. He
for
helped
sure,
me
Zeus.
perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about
I feel
it.
like
For now, it's just
streaming and
theories
doing
first
and building
approach.
computer is
My
built on
process
dreams
is
that you
purely
accomplish
experimental
tomorrow. You know,
and unsuccessful.
just
As
keep
long as
dreaming,
you're
keep doing.
cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the
I feel like
first
they're
one to
about to
warn
throw
me,
down with each
but
other.
I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
You think?
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Yeah, honestly, I think a fair price in today's market, if you could set aside, like roughly around that would be kind of good. Like one rack would definitely be
It's
something
always a pleasure
that
to
could
share
definitely get you a
scientific
lot of
and
cool
medical knowledge
technology.
with someone
But you
eager.
can build
I'll be
something
glad to help
decent
you
for
if I
like, you
can.
know,
This
around
epidemic
$600 to
may be the century's
$500, but
most
it'd be like
terrible
more like,
disaster, but
you know,
I'm
you need to
convinced
upgrade
that
this
we,
later
as
on, or you need to
doctors,
do
are the
this,
only ones able to defeat it.
or have like a more capture card bound something. It just depends. But usually about $1,000 you get really a lot of good stuff. Oh, that stuff, like honestly, parts like
What can you tell
like there's
me about the
Newegg,
Pentagon?
Well, it has
Amazon,
always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea.
B&H is another one to like
With
find
your
CPU
arrival, I
parts.
can't think of
Yeah,
a better opportunity
he's
to
naming
learn
all the
about
ones I'm
blood
naming. That's great. Those are all the ones I would go to. Personally, myself, I would say reference stuff always like
need help
through
with
Newegg.
anything?
They're the nerds when it comes down to giving you really good details.
I'm
Amazon
waiting
is
for a batch of
garbage,
products I ordered for
and
my
it's just
personal
basically
research.
Amazon you go to for the
My
good
supply
deal
seems to have
and the
vanished.
You want me
shipment.
to play the
If you
errand
know what you're
for
looking
you?
for.
Oh no, Dr. Reed.
B&H is
But
tailored
if
to the
you
person.
went personally
I
to his
ultimately
shop,
like to say like they do a really good
reputation,
job.
He wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address. For I may pass
CPU,
by if I have
GPU,
time.
motherboard, power condenser, your PCU, case. It's really, for the most part, besides like the bells and whistles of a screen, a keyboard, and a few other things. Let's see here.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first
Oh,
wave
well then,
of the
dude, Echo,
epidemic, I
you're
used to joke with Milton about
you're
the
in
extra
really good
work.
stuff because A, you could probably get some really good RAM, just like what Popo was saying. Dude, honestly, some 3600 to 16, I've fallen in love with that frequency, which is really good. Though 14 is boss, you just end up paying a shitload more for nowadays. And you could probably get 32 to 3600 frequency, and that'd be really satisfactory, honestly, at a decent price. Because I got my like
Tell me
neon
more
RAM
about your
for a set of
willingness
2,
to
and that's all you're really gonna need.
experiment
You
with
don't need a
medical
lot of RAM,
techniques.
to be honest. You probably only need about 16
Suffering from a
gigs,
severe
like just 2
injury that
sets.
could cripple
So
him if not treated correctly.
that's actually gonna be really
I'm
fun.
convinced your blood
Fast.
transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Yeah, Echo, hit me up in a message.
I
Just
want nothing
send
but
me
to
a
save
comment
my
on
patient,
YouTube,
Dr. Reed.
and I'll give you
Especially
my
since I know Mr. Fiddick's
Facebook,
story.
and then we'll chat, bro. We'll make it simplified so that you're not like tripping about like having to like, you know, pull out like an investigator, like notepad. Trust me, I was just like you though. Like,
This
don't even trip. That
personal
just means you're really
involvement could
excited
also
about what
appear
you're
to be
about to
a
do,
lack of
and that's awesome.
impartiality.
Because one of
You
my
must know
buddies
that a
helped
good
me,
surgeon
just
must
like I'm gonna try to help you in that situation. Where, you know,
does
it's
not
just like, it's
excuse
kind of
Dr.
passing the
Aykroyd's
torch when you
behavior.
meet someone
A
who
man
hasn't
who
built
did
a
not even
computer or
take time
something
to
there.
converse with
You
his
just kind of want to
patient.
show
You
them
think keeping
because
his
it's
distance
really
was a
freaking
mistake?
simple and
All
it's
I know
really
is that I'm
fun. It
taking
opens
care
up a
of
whole other
human
world
beings with
of what you can
desires, hopes,
do,
and fears.
and you're not bound to a console
It's a
anymore.
biological
And you
machine
start to
comprised
understand
of
how
blood,
bad
bones,
consoles
and
can
flesh.
be. But I hate to say it, but I do like the controller. It's, I don't know.
Tell me,
I'm
Mr.
one of those weird
Fiddick's
guys.
story.
They'll like take a
First
controller over a
diagnosis was
keyboard, and almost
compromised
people are like,
because
"What the hell's
Mr.
wrong with
Fiddick
you?" I'm
lied to
like,
us about the
"Yes, I
real
know.
origin of his
For some
injury.
games, keyboards are
He
boss
first
as
claimed
shit,
It was an accident
but
Why would he hide
sometimes
such
the controller's
crucial
better. It
information
just
from
depends."
us?
because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because
And this
of his
guy's
own negligence.
dropping some major dialogue while I'm talking about this. Man, Fendrick, I'm gonna have to go have a chat with Brosiv. Right on, man. That'll definitely help out. No,
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Strickland gave me a shitload of information, man. He was like hospital narc. He's like, "What you want to know, fanboy? I'll let you know everything." Who are you?
All right. Don't waste your time with me.
Yeah, I've already talked to this girl.
Still down, my boy. How can we be sure?
Okay, you know, that's for the extreme enthusiasts. Let me put it this way, Echo. I haven't even messed with custom loop yet. I want to, but I haven't even messed with that. I think, honestly, and like, there's a lot of creators that have pretty much put a lot of videos and a lot of content out there for the argument of heat cooling of water versus air, and you kind of get the same performance. It's really just depending on how far you're going to overclock stuff. So if you were going to go with water, I would say go A.I.O, don't go custom loop, but custom loop is going to be a lot more expensive. It just depends, and then you also have to try to build it. I feel like for a first build, that's very advantageous, and that's awesome that you have that idea. But it might be something cool and shelved for a second build or an upgrade later on to kind of see the difference. I'd think like
Good
a
evening,
Noctuna,
Good evening,
like
Doctor.
honestly a really
I
good
don't
dual
think you've been
fan,
introduced yet.
like, and you're gonna be great.
My
And they're
name's
like the
Pippa
kings
Hawkins.
of just
I'm
heat
Dr.
sinks and just
Jonathan
keeping it locked because they have a
Dr.
copper.
Swansea
What is it? I think it's a copper plate with nickel
Well,
that's like completely
this
just a
is
huge
euphemism that
plate.
you'll
I think the
help me
core is like
appreciate it,
copper where it
Doctor.
goes up inside of there, and that usually works really, really well. And yeah, he's right. A 550 to, I would say honestly, probably about 700, 600 if you could get it, just because of the power range.
How would you describe the
You never want to run it
situation
right on the edge. You want to run it a little bit above so it
flu
runs
is wreaking
optimal
havoc amongst the
and you
staff
get a
and
really
patients.
good life
We are
of that
running out of
PSU.
everything.
Or you can adoptively go up to another graphics card. You just have headroom.
Nurse
Spanish
Hawkins,
flu.
the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black
See,
Plague didn't kill
they gotta listen to wisdom.
wish I could believe
Virus
you.
can't ever win. Humans
But what
awesome.
if this epidemic was
Right.
worse? What if in the end nobody was
I'm
spared?
actually liking this story because it's just easy
You
enough
must
to
get a
like
hold of yourself,
kind of
Nurse.
pay attention and get it.
Sorry, I'm exhausted.
It's not like super
No one has
action
any
packed. It's like
idea when
really
this epidemic will be
Skyrim-esque.
over.
The music's good though. I definitely recommend EVGA. Like that's my personal favorite. But Corsair, I am also really
Well, long enough to
close
see
friends
that
with
the
my buddies at
epidemic is winning.
Corsair.
And no matter
I've met
how
a few times.
qualified
Well,
you are, don't tell me
Elgato,
you
the streaming
chose that.
company, who I got to know some people from Corsair a
You'd be
tiny bit.
surprised what
But
dedication
yeah,
can
long
achieve.
story short, man, it's gonna
In
be a
medicine,
fun world.
Sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Yeah, and that's why, like, for
Why
me,
is
that was the same
Milton
thing. When I was getting into
on a
streaming,
daily basis?
my buddy was just like, dude,
it
you
just
really
an
want to do this,
Milton's
huh?
got
You
the
really
kind
like
of
doing a
man who's bothered
PlayStation
about a
and
bad
just kind of
reputation,
having fun, and
whether
you
he
never built the
deserved it or
computer, let
not.
me help you. And I was like, okay. And my best buddy, Mark, and like, freaking, like, he just came over
does
and I got my
Milton
Intel,
dislike
you know,
I don't know.
i7 6700K, and, you
But be
know, we
warned.
built it, and
Milton is not
it
the chatty
was
type.
a heatsink at first, then I went to an A.I.O, and then I started doing better graphics cards, and well, I ended up here eventually. So, yay me, and yay us, community. We did it. Personal questions. Can I ask you something awkward? Like, why is that thing look like it seems like it's just like hanging on by a thread in your back of your head?
Goodbye, Nurse.
Looks awkward. I mean, it looks nice at right angles, but from that angle looked really awkward. Maybe we gotta do something in that wing. We're gonna wing it. See what happens. Oh right, I need to get up to the second floor. We established that it was something, even if there is a second floor. Hold on real fast. This will easily be seen by looking at, yeah, there's 3 freaking floors here. They have so much propaganda. Well, that's not really propaganda, but like, you know, flyering time, should I say. Hey, Connor, how you doing on Facebook, buddy? Aha, second floor it is.
Not now.
Okay, Mr. Swansea. My lab. Apparently I just have a shitload of shells everywhere. I think I need to go out and
flower's dying.
get
It
the
needs
water.
I cannot enter.
I think I need to go battle shit. Or loot stuff. one of the two. Or both in that combination.
It's locked.
Alright, that's a big negativo. So I'm gonna have to run outside and go destroy some monsters and hope I find something.
I wish I could be sick again.
You wish you could be sick again? That girl's like twitching out there. I don't know if anyone saw that. She was like all phantomgram.
If Pembroke is still standing after this epidemic, there's good reason to be proud.
Yeah, that's a really good question too. Or if you're wanting to do something in 4K for streaming, because in order to set up a dimension on OBS, you have to have the dimension on the screen. So if I wanted to do 8K, I'd have to get an 8K screen basically, or find a way to trick it to do it. And he's very correct. 4K is insanely powerful for most modern PCs, which people don't even really realize. They think it's really just easy. I mean, 8K let alone would destroy a majority of systems. So I think it's something that's like a twinkle in the eye, but if you got something with a 1080p, really good refresh rate, I feel like that's all you really need dialed in, you know? Something really cool, maybe even like a little bit more of a wider screen, different aspect ratio, so you can be doing like FPS. Yeah, I definitely recommend a 2K because you can find those really cheap, and they usually come with expanded portions, which are really good. Like I have a 2K screen, and I love it. It's my like one that when I boot up and people see my stuff on the lab, it's that screen. Just I didn't have to get curved, but it just kind of worked where it was cheap, and I was like, all right, cool. Seriously, I just want to get the medicine. I don't know what's going on here. Character sounds like he is heavily overweight and trying to run about a golden mile. Oh, I feel you on that one, Connor. I'm a little drowsy myself. Yeah, 144 is really good. 240 I feel like is a kind of like a... It's a nice wish, but no real graphics cards have kind of nailed it, to be honest. And no real graphic screen has kind of nailed it. So I mean, like, you can kind of get it there, but you're gonna run into a lot of like bugs, unfortunately. Oh, nice, dude. That is a really great one. Yeah, because I think mine is a 144 hertz for my 2K. And I was like, wait, what? I got an insanely good deal. Coincidentally, it was on like Black Friday last year on Amazon. I was like, what the hell? Okay, yeah, add it to the cart. I shouldn't be buying this, but this is amazing. Bring the wallet back to the owner. Okay. Yeah, I know, it definitely has. Connor on Facebook. It's really great to see you, man. Hopefully everything's been going really great and lucky in your life, man. And then, yeah, Echo. You popped into the right stream to get a little bit more brushed up on technology for surezies. Oh wait a minute, maybe I can sleep and he will gain his health back. Bed? No. The no sleeping zone. Oh yeah, and they don't even have 4K on Twitch. 4K is not even allowed. In fact, for a while there, they used to ban your ass when you would like basically stream past that. I don't feel like that was really fair. But that's just me. Though, okay, so I talked to the OBS boys, and there is a trick. There is a trick that you can do that they told me in order to bump up the resolution on Twitch. But they also asked me to NDA that, so I at least live by that portion. I do know how to do it. But I also promised them that I wouldn't do it and tell them other people. And I really like the OBS creator, so I really respect that. So he's a really tight guy. I've met him a few times. Once. And by the way, Twitch would probably be really pissed off.
I will not let you down, my boy.
You're like, how the f did you learn how to do that? Don't worry about it. Okay, well at least now that we've like respawned in, maybe we might be given.
It's locked.
Talk to the doctor.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana.
Oh man, damn.
Broker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean? You used to be a doctor.
Sorry to hear about like your grandpa, man. That's tough. Best wishes to you, Connor. I hope things turn around.
I run a little.
That's the unfortunate portion of life is watching, you know, your loved ones
But I used to be a real
and like
doctor.
them journey along with life too. So, my best wishes go to you, man, and your family. And then let's see here, Popa
Yes,
on
sir.
like
All kind of people.
YouTube.
For I sell
Let's
all
see
kind
here.
of goods.
No, they don't really like it, but there is a way you can trick it, and then you can trick it from there up.
Who comes
It's just
here
there's a
to
lot
trade?
of like
It's
you
very
have to manipulate it from
unhygienic,
like
even
a
unsafe.
certain
Diseases can
software. That's all I'm gonna say.
spread. Customers for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
That's good. Good people are good people.
What kind of goods?
Kind of comes
the
with the day.
quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
And then like Connor on Facebook, one thing I like to say that's always helped me in a dark time when I'm kind of like man, life is kind of heavy, is
Have we met?
when life gives you lemons, you make drinks. So try to enjoy good
when
times
we
with
first
family and
talked, you
you
said
know
you
live
were
in the
glad to
moment
meet me
with that
since
person,
it
you know,
was
like
reported
stood
Funny
for, you know.
story, sir.
And like
Your
for
sister
instance,
came
when I
to
was
me a few
talking
nights
to
ago.
Echo,
You were
the
missing,
person that
and
helped
she was
me
looking
make
for
my
your mom.
computer was actually someone that I
She must be
tragically
very
lost last year. Unfortunately, they had
Are
some
you
health
afraid
or was it
uneasy being surrounded
health
by
conditions?
so many corpses?
No, I'm not
Why
going to
should I?
fine details, but they
These
unfortunately
bodies are
exited
empty
this world a
vessels.
lot younger.
Flesh left to decay.
Shit, he was a lot younger than me,
No
and I was
soul
like really devastated
all
by that because I was like, damn, this person really helped me out a lot in life.
An interesting
In general, was just a really great person.
and quite an exotic one too.
So it's like I've always gone
Most
by the
people
point that
fear
like in the
or at
ultimate
least have
end
respect
that a person never really dies if you
As a
live by
medic
their
during the
legend.
war, I
And
learned
you know,
to
this is a
face
good
my
time to
death
learn about that
and the
person
death
when
of
you
others.
guys and gals are like
It's
thinking
the
about
pain
that
we have to take,
that moment.
not death itself.
It seems a little tragic, you know. There's always an upper side, is what I'm trying
How
to get
did you
at.
get this
Try to
job?
be
After I
optimistic.
left the army, I worked as an
Outlaw in the
undertaker
house.
down by
What's
the
up with it? I've been kicking it with Echo. We've been, you know, virtually building a computer with Popa, one of the AMD community members. So, how you been, man?
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I
Right.
have to
Oh
do is
man, I'm
watch a
glad
few
that
bodies
meant something to you, Connor, because I've been in tough times where that, you know, that really sucks, you know what I mean? And you can never say that you know how that person feels, because everyone handles it differently, you know? Like for me, unfortunately, when I found that out, I was getting on my way. Literally, I was an hour away from like boarding an airplane going to TwitchCon, and I was just like, I dropped my phone, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And like I had to do that whole weekend with one of my other friends, and just a lot of good friends and networking and business right after just losing one of my best friends. And I was just like, shit. I was drunk as shit, I'm not gonna lie. I was drunk from the minute I entered that freaking airplane. I was like, my buddy's like, you want to drink? And I was like, I never thought you were gonna ask. And I drank up into the funeral, which was really interesting because like, not to go super dark, but we ended up getting into like a light, like accident going to the viewing, and like the car got completely, like my buddy's car got decently messed up, but not bad. We were all okay. But one of the other guys' cars, they got messed up. There was just a comic. And we were like, whoa, that's so cool, because it was one of his favorite comics. And I was like, what are the odds? But, you know, life works in mysterious ways. You just gotta weave through time with it, so. Yeah, and that's kind of like, honestly, Connor, I feel like that's like the easiest thing to do, is to like X people out and try to be alone. But it's like, probably I feel like the people that say they want to be alone are usually the people that need to be with someone the most in that situation. Sometimes doesn't mean all the times. Thank goodness I can buy this shit from this dude. What I need, I got coins, son. I'll throw down. Buy all of his shit. Great. And then Echo, appreciate that, man, but no worries. Like I mentioned, like, you know, if you would ask me almost like a year ago, like even getting on stream, like I changed my habits, and it was really tough getting into it, because he was one of the guys in the channel that like we were always playing cooperative games together. It was Maloran, in fact. Actually, if people remember that name in the channel, that was Mark.
Tomorrow, more bodies will. Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
All right, well, man, it's really nice to see you, man. Hopefully everything's doing really good. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be exciting building that PC. All right, I've gotten the trade. I've gotten everything I need. I think I can actually make the formula and push this damn story forward. Dude, best thing ever, Doctor, except for this locked door I can't do anything with. That's another cool thing I like about streaming, is that, you know, you can be there for someone and people can be there for you. You know, it's like difficult to adjust to that, but like it is kind of comforting. All right, shake off this stuff. I'm gonna get to my doctor's office and brew up some freaking, I guess, fungal cure or whatever the hell they're doing, and something like that. You know, honestly though, I can totally see how you get that vibe, but I don't get that vibe anymore. Like, it's more of a, like, you know, he was a really good friend, and I look at, like, what could I do to live in his legend? You know? So, like, I feel like there's always a good story to be told, or a good way to live. Because he was a genuinely cool dude. Like, he would get the shirt off your back, and like he would always be getting presents for you. Like, anytime I go to conventions with the guy, it was always like, would randomly come out of nowhere with something. It was just genuine. Super genuine. Dude, that's what's up, man. You know, it's just the little things like that sometimes in life where you're just like, holy crap. You know, this is totally what's up. I don't think I have to make more than one. I think that was all I needed. Hey! Ah! We're getting somewhere with this game, finally. Yeah, that was a long time ago. It was one of the random times. And then I remember you were throughout the Red Dead era, and that was right around the same time I was doing that, so Got a good memory, Connor.
It's locked.
Damn it. Oh man, I appreciate the condolences, but like, you know, it's made me a stronger person. Because I really feel like that's how like a lot of people handle that in like life. It's like it can either hold you back, hold you still, or push you forward. There's just three options in that, and that's really the individual that they need to find. Okay, I need to get this medicine to this chick. Oh, God. Is that Dorothy?
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good
That's
evening, Dr.
Hawkins.
Reed.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. It's locked, all right.
You're a vampire. You can tear the freaking heart out of someone, but you can't tear a freaking metal door that's made in the 1900s off its hinges? I'm gonna call a little bit of Boulder Dash on that. Prevent the disease. Careless spitting, sneezing, coughing, spread influenza. Spreading the drops of spray through the nose and throat. Don't cough in public. You're not supposed to cough, you're just, I mean, you're not supposed to stop yourself from sneezing or any shit like that. You're supposed to just be very protective, you know? Well, to protect yourself. But these were the times back in the day. Influenza was a serious freaking thing before we got a freaking, like, semi-cure to it. But influenza really isn't curable, it's just, you got the flu. You're fine. Depends on the immunity, but I'm not a doctor. That's not what I'm here to debate. It's in Dr. Mac.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you
Apparently
find
now
anything
I'm a
of value?
doctor. Dear gosh. You know what, Mrs. Evans?
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
No, it really
Duty
is.
calls.
I can definitely see
When the
that,
storm
Connor,
has
and that's
passed,
where a
I'll
lot
show
of
you
people
how to
draw
mix
the
the remedy
similarities
yourself with the
between
same
the
basic
1900s. And that's
Many
why
thanks,
this
Doctor.
game's actually really interesting right
When
now,
you
because the
finish, you want to
satire
report to
of
Dr.
yesterday and
Swansea at
today
his
are
office.
meeting.
He's
Same
been
thing
looking for you. Seemed
with like A
pressing.
Plague's Tale. They were throughout history great times of famine. And this just happens to be one of them.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances...
I mean, once everyone survives after this, we can all say that we survived a pandemic. That's a real world situation. I called that shit in February, though, when everything was happening. I was like, this is what you call a f***ing pandemic. And then the news finally caught up like 3 weeks later. Pandemic! I'm like, yeah, I'd be late on that one. I coined that shit 3 weeks ago. I'm all like, I don't know, the whole American Republic in the world. America just decided to pay attention in February. We were like, it's fine, we don't need to pay attention. Oh shit, we need to pay attention! But I should be careful about talking about that on YouTube. They're pretty dickish.
My blood and soul. They belong to you.
It's locked, all right.
This dead flesh needs it.
You know, I am contemplating going to Taco Bell. I don't need to go to Taco Bell, but if I go to Taco Bell, maybe I can try to win an Xbox. I don't need an Xbox, but if I got an Xbox, it'd be pretty sweet. But I don't think I should eat the Taco Bell. Probably not that healthy. Rats. Midnight in the garden. How do I return that though? Do I have to see the wallet? Can I like use it like investigative? That'd be cool. Oh, dude, yeah, this game is amazing. So far, besides the first chapter, which is a little, like, meh, in my opinion. Not for, like, story, just mechanics. I feel like it's kind of, like, it could have done a better job. But this is pretty good. And it's an early patch. It's only 1.07, so they could have room to grow, personally, in my opinion. But definitely a great game. Oh yeah, I'm talking to Connor on Facebook, one of the other community members. So that's usually what I'll reference. I'll say Facebook or YouTube, just so people aren't wondering what the hell is this guy saying. Like, yeah, I multi-stream. I'm one of those guys. I just do it all. Seriously, can I just return the wallet? Can someone have their wallet? Do you want a wallet, sir?
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Wallet,
Good evening,
Mr.
Dr.
Fiddick.
Reed. Any news about my operation?
Oh, I got a lot of news about you, boy. Let's talk personal real fast.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And
Oh.
now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Damn, that got a
How
lot
could
more
your
darker
job
than I
be
wanted to
responsible
open
for
up
your
on.
wife's death?
That's
I was
on
working
me.
a double.
That's on
She
me.
went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
And the cool part is, I'm super stoked for
can't
frickin'
hold
Cyberpunk
yourself responsible for your
2027.
injury, Mr.
You know,
Fiddick.
because, you know, it's 2020.
Unless you tried to
We'll
hurt
actually be getting it.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Yes.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they
Oh
missed
shit,
their
they went with
target.
Zeppelins? That must have been terrifying for
My
that day
wife
and
was
age.
bringing my dinner when
Big
the
ass
bombs
blimp
fell.
just dropping shit from above.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring me with her,
Nice! I am definitely going to be one of those guys to get Cyberpunk. Stranded Deep, I do remember that, Outlaw, because you were actually really helpful with helping me on the situation. I eventually
sorry
need to
for
play
you.
that too. They talked about
So
some kind
many
of console
died
update, and then it never came. Like, I got some
served in France.
notification from, like,
Carnage there.
the Stranded
like to say that
Deep
she
team,
didn't
and they're like,
suffer.
new update consoles, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Nothing updated.
I just know that I'm all that me kids have.
It is, let's see here.
Poor little bleeders.
Well, I know if you click this link, it should... Let's see here, M7 in a flash, basically. Let me see if I can copy and paste this. I'm the moderator, so like, if this doesn't work, this is gonna suck. It may or may not work. But yeah, that goes directly over there. Oh man, yeah, I need to beat Dying Light. I was talking to my brother about that. Well, no, actually, my YouTube is different. Facebook was really ridiculous. They were like, you already have an Instagram and you run around in cosplay. You're not allowed. What the hell? I own the MacGyver 7th handle.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My,
Okay,
Is there
I think
anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
I'm all
Oh,
right.
he just went Jekyll and Hyde right
Considering
there.
the state of this place, I should consider myself lucky, I guess.
Oh, nice. How was the DLC, Connor? I guess I
Goodbye
can't
for now,
hassle
Mr.
him
Fiddick.
anymore.
I'll
Damn
see
it.
you later.
My sweet girl.
Can't beat him up
Treats me like a
verbally. You know what? Did you lose a wallet, sir?
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Well, I am excited about doing a...
Why
What
did
is
your
this?
mother have you hospitalized
I
here?
want to do Red Dead
She seems
or
convinced
Undead
this
Nightmare
is a bad
this
hospital.
month.
My mother just
Like, because I feel like that's kind of themed. It makes sense.
She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Oh, that's what's up. running over zombies with
Pembroke
cars
Hospital
is
may look
sweet, or motorcycles if you're in
But
like,
rest
you know,
assured,
Days
you're
Gone.
in good hands here.
It's not me.
Game's
you have to
amazing.
convince Dr. Reed.
Which I got my brother. I was super excited about that. I actually found it on Amazon for hella cheap, and he had never played Days
Is your mother
Gone.
bothering
And he was worried. He was like, I
As your
really
doctor,
wish
I
there was an
can
open
ask
world
you to
zombie
leave alone if
game
you would
that
prefer.
was amazing. And I was like,
Doctor.
have you played Days Gone? And he's like,
But you
no.
have no
And I was like,
idea what
I have an
escape
open world
was.
zombie game that is amazing.
She'll tie herself to
Let
my
me tell
bed
you
if
about
I
this.
leave.
So he's gonna be like smashing through that. And at the
How
best time
painful
ever
is your
because it's all
throat?
complete and they have all these
Painful, I'd rather
really
not
cool
talk
new
about
game
it.
plus, and it's just a masterpiece in my opinion. It's just a damn
I'm
shame
sure you
though.
realize a
The
doctor
actor
and
that
his
played
patient have to
Deacon
communicate,
St.
sir.
John
Would it
unfortunately
help if I
died.
gave you some paper
At
and
the
a
very
pen?
beginning of the
Not
pandemic,
really. I
actually.
see.
Random,
Then
nothing
maybe it's
affiliated
not
to,
just
you
your
know,
throat that
what was
hurts,
going
Mr.
down,
Osborne.
but
Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something.
yes, you did, Outlaw. You did
Yes,
hear
really.
out a little undead nightmare
want to talk or
on the
even
trail
write about
of
it.
awesomeness. I own that game, like through download through the PSN network. So once I install my Red Dead Redemption, which I own for PlayStation, then I can technically install Undead Nightmare for free since I own it on the PSN network. So I will therefore be able to play it. Also, I'm going to try to play Xenogears. That game is really ridiculously long, but there's a lot of people that like it. So
I have to go.
figured I
now,
might
sir.
as well. It's one of
But
those rare
don't
ones that
hesitate
Square
to
Enix likes to
contact me if
bitch
you need
about.
any help.
You're like, you can't play that. That's an emulator. But I can actually be like, no, this is a disc. Yeah, and that's a PlayStation 3. Ha, I'm a nerd. Take that. I bought shit. Ooh, there's a cabinet full of stuff.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to
Strickland
you,
is
Dr.
like
Reed. Can
totally
I be of any help?
blocking. He's med blocking, bro. You got something secret you want to tell me? No. Then we ain't
Goodbye,
gonna talk.
Dr. Strickland.
Yeah, Strickland. Strickler. Get away from my cabinet. My vials. Let's go talk to Captain Steamboat. Freaking, what was it? Okay, he's got a really kick-ass name though, so on a real note. It's very classy. Something C. Swansea. 'Cause it sounds like really, like, I don't know, like a Z, but it's really just like a swan and a C. Swansea.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not?
Me too,
In the
man.
last decade,
That game
so
is like a
many
hidden
mysteries
relic.
have been brought
Because
to
if
light
I remember
with our
correct,
microscopes.
they don't really have that except for on the
Human
PlayStation
body.
now, and you really can't stream
Biology's
that.
penultimate frontier.
You take it easy,
More we
Connor,
explore its
and like,
boundaries,
stop
the
in
less
some
we're
more,
able to
man.
trace a clear
You're
line
feeling down,
between
man.
life and death.
You can always kick it with me and the communities.
You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood
That's
transfusion.
such a classy term.
vampire. One might
Serendipitous.
say a
You
gift
said
from
that
heaven.
nowadays, you probably get everyone looking at you like, what the hell did you just say? Like, it's actually a very endearing term, but no one really
I'm a
knows
dead
it.
man.
So they just
I
look at you
was
as being hella
murdered.
weird.
Now I'm a murderer. Tell me how this is a gift.
Forgive me.
Yeah.
I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please,
He's a bloodthirsty
call me
vampire
Edgar.
on top of being a physician. Seems like a dream job. The rock
There's
star.
no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan.
Hey,
Something that will
spend
require
21.
all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
Sounds
Why,
about right.
Skull, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Her
I thought your
ladyship is certainly
notation
near the tents
was to
outside, tending the
destroy.
sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Alright, we're gonna go downstairs now. Find this rat.
Blaming me will not further your agenda, sir.
How long's it going to take to fix me properly? A month?
You have the right.
Yeah, I'm not getting involved in that. That's them. Oh. Well, that changes things now, doesn't it? I gotta go back around. It seems like he's like the vampire hunter, but he's the vampire. He's kind of like gosh, what's a good way to put this?
Waste your time with me.
Trying to think of a movie that was really good. Blade Runner. Holy crap, it's like Blade Runner with vampires.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take
Oh.
comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Poor Emily.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough.
Poor failure.
Now do me a kindness and get some
Man,
sleep.
it looks pale
I'll
as
be back
shit,
round
though,
later.
seriously.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
She's got good bedside manner.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
And
It's a pleasure to
quite
see you
frankly,
again. You
really
seem
awesome eyes.
surprised. Dr. Swansea
Feline.
has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp... The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed.
Swansea.
Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
They're being
I
very
hope
civil.
you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer,
Has been
has been
compromised.
compromised.
Figured that much. Let's see here.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will
That's
gladly
true.
answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first
How
payment,
so?
but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A
Yeah.
kindred spirit.
It's another
Even if it
vampire.
were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My
Harriet
life,
Jones, you say?
as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
I feel like that's kind of fair.
So lucky to have Dr. Reed.
We don't really have a choice, so.
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my
Mrs.
room.
Jones.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
I could go to
calm
the
down,
extreme.
madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse, or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I
can?
heard
'Cause your
there have
eyes look
been
like they're,
some
like-
despicable goings on.
Oh, they finally just
Was
all of a
that
sudden
a case
randomly
of
looked.
blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call.
I think the
One of those
eyes are just
incompetent cunts
ridiculous.
in a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's
Yeah.
honest truth, Doctor.
Yeah,
It's
she
just
does.
the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
She's a salty Sally.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine.
So you don't have any
The
proof.
nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round. The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with... Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion make me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Oh, guy seems like a genuine creature.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor.
No, I feel like this is a very relevant question with vampires.
Not mine, anyway.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel... empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
The irony. The absolute
How did you end
irony.
up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends.
One of the two.
William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Alright, I think this is probably where I'm gonna park it. Just because I'm starting to see. I can kind of get that vibe. Like, the story is so dim. Like, it seems like he just has a really good head on his shoulder. For as far as that, like, let me get a bed real fast. To my office. Nice. Let's save ourselves. Oh, that's cool. You can reset your treat. Cool, it's saved. Alright, everyone. I'll see you guys and gals in the near future on YouTube. And stay classy, stay safe, and we'll have to do this again. I might mix it up with some other games, but this was a nice little second intro to it. A lot better gameplay than the last one. Still bugged. I definitely saw some points where I'm like, but it can get better. So, see you, everyone.